Hi everyone, welcome to the Simple Art at Home Summer Camp Art Series with me, Laura Houston. Get your art supplies ready because together we will get creative, learn about art, and have some fun along the way. I'll meet you at the art table. This lesson is called a Paul Klee city because it's in the style of the artist Paul Klee. You're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, a good eraser, a black crayon, or possibly a black pen if you would prefer, and something to color with, either crayons or watercolor paints. I will be using watercolor paints today. So we're going to start at the top of the paper by drawing a large moon, a crescent moon, because this will be a cityscape at night. So a crescent moon is something like this. It's almost like you're making a circle, and then you just bring in a crescent shape like this. We're going to outline everything in black. And then we're going to start with a skyscraper. You know what? Before we do that, let's do this. Let's identify the edge of the street. So I'm just going to draw a line right here, and it'll add interest too. So something at the bottom, leave a space where you can have a street, and then we'll have a vertical, like a skyscraper right here with a triangle on top. Paul Klee was known for adding a lot of geometric shapes into his artwork, so that's what we're going to be doing. So here I have a tall skyscraper, and then why don't we do another building right here that's much lower, because that'll add interest, but it'll just be kind of connected right there. And I'm just gonna make it like a rectangular box type thing. And then we can have another edge of a building. Let's make it a little higher so it's not exactly the same. We'll put it right here, maybe like kind of like this. Now, I'm leaving a space. Now remember, I only offer suggestions. You can create your cityscape any way that you want to. There's no wrong way to do this, not at all. I'm gonna make another building over here that looks like it's behind. So it's gonna kind of like overlap back here, okay? And then to add interest, let's add a line right here. So maybe it's like an antenna on top of the building. And then let's add another interesting shape right here. Maybe a line with a circle, and who knows what that is, a radio tower or some sort of a shape there. And then let's continue a line down here. So just continue this line straight down. And then just to add odd interest, let's do another shape right here. And the viewer won't really know what that is, but it's going to add interest down here. Maybe it's the edge of a street sign or another building or the edge of something sticking up. It'll add color down there as well. Now, we're going to add geometric shapes inside the buildings that we drew. So let's start with the triangle. You can add the shapes any way that you want to, but I'm going to draw a vertical line in the middle of the triangle and then draw a horizontal line that's perpendicular right across, okay? Then I think I'll add some other interesting decorations right here. So I have a line here. I'll put this is going to be kind of like the triangle building. So I have a triangle, and then I'm going to bring this up and up. So we can color those different colors for interest. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'll start with a triangle in the middle, and then bring that up and bring that up, almost like W's. Okay, and then over here, let's keep this one rather simple. I'll just I'll divide this. And if you notice, I'm not using a ruler. Like, that's not the look that I'm going for. I want it's okay if your lines are not perfectly straight. So over here with this building, let's divide it into 3 sections. So imagine if you divided it into thirds. So I'll just kind of estimate a line right there. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. That makes it look more interesting. And in each of these, I'm going to draw an X from corner to corner. Just sketch lightly with your pencil because we can fix it when we go over it with crayon. And an X here and an X here. Now we still have this building that we need to do, you know, something interesting. I think what I'll do is kind of in the style of bricks, but not really bricks. I'm drawing a horizontal line and then I'm just going to divide it like this. And then maybe I'll go down even farther, like a larger space, and just divide it in half. And then I'll do that again, maybe like a smaller section, and draw a line here. And maybe, I don't want this line to line up with this one, so I'll make one lower here. And then maybe a smaller one here. You see what I mean by bricks, but they're not really bricks? And then over here. Okay, I feel like I have enough geometric shapes on my cityscape for now. So now I'm going to take my black crayon, and since I'm going to be using, that's not black, that's blue. Let me see if I have a black in here. Sometimes it's hard to tell, and I am wearing my glasses. Nope, that's purple. There it is. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's black. Okay, sometimes it is hard to tell. So I'm going to draw this nice and thick. And when you use watercolors, the wax in the crayon kind of helps the watercolors stay separated. And I'm doing like big, chunky black lines. I want this to be interesting. I'm using big, chunky lines, if you can tell what I'm doing there. I'm going to draw a circle here. I'm going to go over it, make it thick. I'm pressing down really hard. So I'm just going to go over everything with the black crayon. If you want to use a black pen, you can use your black pen. There. This line, I'm going to take it all the way down through the street. And here. So I'm just outlining. Just take your time. I am pressing hard. Your hand might hurt a little bit. Sometimes it feels like it's going to cramp. This line, I'm going to bring it straight across and go over it again. And here's this fun, odd thing down here, but you're going to see it's going to be helpful that we just add a little color down here to kind of, it carries through the geometric shape design. And we have this line here. I really want this to be thicker right here. You can make some of the black lines thicker and some thinner, and it might show the difference in the buildings too if you use that technique. There's this here. Okay. Sometimes it takes a long time. I'm just using the same, just going over everything. I'm almost done. I have that building that's in the back. There. Okay. Just gonna see if I want to thicken anything else. Oh, I feel like I should add the black line here. I feel like it looks unfinished. So I am going to just do that. Depends on how your building looks there. You may or may not need to add a black line, but kind of step back and look at your work. Maybe I'll put a point up there. Maybe I'll add something interesting right there. Okay, so at this point I am ready to start painting. And I want you to think about the color combinations that you would like to use. I'm going to start with my moon, and I think I'll just paint the moon yellow. There we go. And I might add a little bit of gray to the moon, just a little bit, to add some interest. There. So it's not just too bright yellow. Then I think I'll start over here and kind of work my way across. Again, think about what colors you might want, you know, next to one another. What patterns you want to create with your colors. And maybe you want to stick to similar colors for each building. I think I'm going to use orange and red for this building. I think this will be my orange and red building. Okay, and then I think I'll use more orange through here. And then I'll go back to some red here. I'll repeat orange and red in this section. Again, you can use any colors that you want to. Since I have red on my brush, I'm just going to move down here. Maybe I'll do these red this time to kind of change it up a little bit. And I think we'll go back and add more orange here. Oh, there, finally I got the good paint on my brush. There. We'll make this orange here. I'm gonna make my city very bright, like all kinds of bright, fun colors. And I'm going to paint the night sky like a dark purple, so that we know that it's nighttime. You can use black for your night sky, but I think sometimes purple is more interesting to use for shadows and darkness. There we go. Okay. And then when it comes to this little thing right here, I'm gonna use two different colors. Why don't I use green? And then maybe a little yellow. How's that? That looks interesting. And as far as this building goes, I'm just going to put I think I'll use a different color in each rectangle here. And then maybe I'll use this like greeny blue here. That's pretty next to the purple. And then up here, maybe I'll use yellow. I might tone that down with a little more like orange yellow in there. That darkens it a little bit. Okay, and then why don't I use this softer, darker orange here? There. And if you want to mix colors, you can mix colors. Now I'm going to move on to this building. Maybe I'll just kind of go through right now, and while I have this green color, it's nice. And then blue. The black crayon will make these colors look very vibrant. What you'll see when it's all finished. Maybe I'll use blue again down here. I'm just trying to space out the colors evenly. I think I'll put a little red up here. Red always looks good next to green and blue. Maybe I'll do another red over here. Again, just trying to space out the colors a bit. And I'll add a lighter green here. It's almost like a green yellow. Some orange here. Maybe one of the darker purples right here. Maybe this color. There we go. That looks nice. And then as far as this building on the left goes, I think I'm going to make this one yellow and blue. So the whole center, like all these center triangles, I'm just going to go straight down and make them yellow. And I'll put blue triangles on the sides. But again, you can color yours in or paint yours however you want with any colors that you want. You don't have to use the same colors that I'm using. And then I'm going to add blue over here. That's a very pretty blue. And one more triangle blue right there. Okay, I think this little guy down here, that little funny spot, I think I'll make him orange. That'll look nice and it'll stand out because I'm gonna surround him with some purple. Okay, I'm gonna do the lighter. I will use the lighter purple in the street down here. I'm also going to use purple in the sky. And like I said, I like to use purple sometimes instead of black to show a darkened area. I guess I could mix a little black in with it. There we go. And I'm going to use, maybe I'll use a different purple right here. Maybe I'll mix. I'm going to go back to this purple too to kind of mix them. That'll look better. You don't want to use too much water on your paper because it will make your paper wrinkle up. But once it dries, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to kind of put some color in here. And I'll probably mix a few different purples in the sky. So now I'll switch to this purple. And it kind of makes an interesting skyline look. I'll mix this again. Be careful when I go near this yellow. Okay, let's see, I'm just trying to take a look at this and see if I want to add anything else. I think I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I might add something to this square right here because this square right here looks too much like the background, and I might want to change the color up a little bit. So maybe I'll just see what happens if I add a random, let me just add a random blue over the top of it and see what happens to it. I might mess it up, but I think that's better. I don't want it to, I didn't want it to look the same as the night sky. Sometimes you have to look at your work when you think you might be finished, kind of look it over and make some adjustments. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's better. And I might add, I'm gonna break up this yellow a bit because it's a lot of yellow. Maybe I'll kind of mix in some orange just to make it a little more interesting looking. There, I think that looks a little bit better too. Okay, so if you're not finished, this is something that you may have to finish up tomorrow or on your own time. I do know that I paint rather quickly just because I'm used to moving through projects pretty quickly. If it takes you more time, that's okay. As I said, maybe you'll have more time tomorrow or another day to come back and finish this project. This lesson was a cityscape in the style of Paul Klee. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I will see you next time. See you next time.